I, I, uh, uh, I couldn't sing, and then I couldn't write, so I had to sleep, to sleep perchance to dream. There's the rub. I rub my eyes until something comes from it. My eye, sleep comes from the eye. Dried, a whole lacrimal lake crystallized, uncried, tears dried, rub, the drool from my mouth, a long twine of it, spit, silk, string strung into a cocoon of sorts, from which I am to dream from, apparently, supposedly. Suppose that's what makes it shimmer, actually, what creates the luster of lustrous, luxurious sheets of silk, bedsheet boiling, dreaming before boiling of what comes from fresh cut skin, a growing through, wings to fly from chains. Too cheesy? Dreams don't care about cliches, so is it pigeon wings, or is it more accurately the wings of a moth that we call worms? Real dirty fuck me in the mulch wings, or not afraid to settle amongst the dust wings and survive on sandwich scraps or heirloom cashmere donut holes? Those kind of wings, not angel wings, anything but angel wings. I'm not perfect. No one's died. You don't have to eulogize and skip all the bad bits. I'm still here, you know. Don't call the police and the coroner's office and start banner making for the community vigil just yet. I'm still here, you know. Still picking up flower petals on the long walk home alone, just to squish them under my thumb so the sap can bleed into my palm, inhaled and pretend it's someone's specials come, sit down, benchside, think of tribbing. Does that count as an indecent public sex act? Never have I ever wanted to kiss a straight man so bad as the other night, and yes, I suppose it may have been the free 3 lines of coke speaking, literally wringing the words out of my gums, but really, truly, I was just tired of all the men from the factory. And its tour of mass production I've been on my whole life, and all of them avoiding looking in my eyes, and he seemed to look so intently into my eyes. So yes, I'm still alive, and I'm here, you know. I'm just dreaming, napping before the big show. Shit, it's soon, now in fact. Sleep paralysis, drag my body back into the room so I can write this trite, but before that, and before the boil, because remember, the hob is still purring this whole time, and I swear some nights I can sense the simmering, but before I burn from the inside out, I'm having one of those dreams, you know, the ones you have on repeat, Mother Mary rosary bead, but the ones where not the one where all my teeth fall out and I'm left to argue with Daddy, gums bare to the world. No, it's more mundane, one you don't write down, the one that sometimes just feels like blinking, but lasts a summer, or a winter, or a lover. The one about being back at school, you know the one. So I'm back at school, my all-boys school. Yeah, year 7, 8, aged 11, 12, and everything is the same, except I'm just outrageously hot. And not a boy, obviously. And no one cares or even notices. And we're in the locker room, unchanging, new breaths budding in the pollen, and that sort of stuffy saccharine scent of aerosol air lit by pubescent sweat is there. And again, no one cares, and I'm just sort of there, and I'm sort of just me, and it's this body, this same body that a group of strangers not 2 days earlier saw near another body of water, and so thought inevitably, of course, suicide risk, and conspired to call, but not to call over to me, to speak to me. No, it was silent cinema in that regard. I circled back to the false crime scene earlier today on a lunch break and realized with resounding clarity that it's really not a long distance at all, but no one cared to call over. They just called the relevant authorities, who then, of course, report back to me. But wouldn't you, if you were there to see a man, open brackets, hypothetical, close brackets, with breast, who was, hypothetically speaking, a danger to herself, wouldn't you call over to her to check? Or would you too just call up the cleanup crew? And so the boys in my teenage locker room are seeing the same body, sort of in a dreaming through the sheen of raw silk sort of way. So it's really equally as much this body as it is what this body could be, would be, with more cocoon time, more sleep in the embrace of your spit intertwined with mine, breaking time. You see, this body broke time years ago. This body breaks time for breakfast. There's the door. What's your hurry? This body breaks Mummy's heart and still found time for espionage, breaking time simply by resting and not being boiled alive. Think of it as a limpet time, if you like a body being crushed under the weight of its future body, but it's a holding crush, a safe crash, a pressing touch, while resting buoyantly on the ex-boy of an old body, a mucosal tower of secretions that sings in the salt and slip over one another, time fucking itself into the dust. And if you don't know what I'm on about, basically there's these underwater mollusks called slipper limpets that live and fuck and die on top of and simultaneously below one another. Their whole lives clung to a rock in the estuary, true story, and they all start sexless, but then the ones on top become men, and there's always one woman at the bottom holding the weight of all those who fuck her and live on her back, all the men I've loved and the man I was sitting atop my spine for the world to run its tide through until I dies crushed by time. And then what happens? The closest male on top of her transitions to become the new female, the new origin, and the new future collapsing in on itself as the base of an orgasmic orgy, come feeding ground, come mutual unlisted living arrangement, so squat basically, come graveyard. And what's the hanky code for that anyway? Ratti fantasy polka dot in the left-hand pocket, or is that just sportswear, Dyke? Are you into the heavy stuff like tricking with your Great Dane? I want to be your dog. What was it, an all-amorphous trick? Anyway, sorry, I've stopped making sense. Or did I ever make sense? I'm just sort of spitting at you, aren't I? Spitting all the time. Have you noticed? And if you notice, so are you. And if you notice, we're all sharing the same... So we're all sort of spitting in each other's mouths already, aren't we? Sorry, no, I'm sorry, no, we don't have to. Sorry, okay, no, we do, I mean, we are all spitting in each other's mouths, constantly, all the time, until we die. But we don't have to talk about it, and so we won't.